The question is what do you send to your list? Well, you send them valuable content. They've signed up to your list because they're after information. Unless when they signed up it said in big letters all you're going to get is sales messages, that's not what they signed up for. They wanted valuable content, so give it to them. And what you have to do is train them or condition them in what to expect from you. Now, if you never ever sell to your list and suddenly you send a sales message, I will guarantee your unsubscribe rate will go up. You'll get angry emails and people will be annoyed at you. But if you sell to them from day one, then it's going to work quite nicely. They're going to expect it, they're going to be comfortable with it, and you're going to get a better response rate. Now, outside of internet marketing, in other niches, constant sales messages do not work. I believe the only niche you can get away with it in is internet marketing. In many of the others, there's no way you can get away with it. People just hate being sold to. Think about it. If somebody sort of approached you on the street and started trying to sell you something, what would you likely do? You'd walk away. Most people don't like being sold to. So you've got to train them to be expected to see sales messages, but not sell, because that's going to put people off. As I said to you, if you never ever sell to them, when you actually do, they're going to be so shocked, they're going to unsubscribe and be annoyed, because they're used to you as being a purveyor of valuable information, not a salesperson. You have to train them to realize that you are someone who sells to them, but also provides valuable content. If you sell to them regularly, I mean, if you do a soft sell pretty much on every email, a hard sell every 3, 4 or 5 emails, you're going to find that they respond quite well to it because they're conditioned to it. And when I say soft sell, I don't mean just a subtle sales message. What I mean is you talk about a problem or a product and casually mention, well, this is a solution to it. Or you talk about something that's happened, or you mention that you found a great product, something like that. A hard sales message is an email whose sole purpose is to sell a product. So that's what I think is one of the best ways of doing it, and people respond quite well to it, particularly outside of internet marketing. Every email needs to contain a sales message of some degrees, but not always a buy this. For example, one thing I've seen very successful is people talk about a problem that they've had, and they've just managed to overcome, or something similar to that. And what they do is they just casually mention that, well, I found this product, I use this product, and it helped me overcome it. Now, if you've got a good relationship to your list, what your list will do is go, that sounds good, and go off and buy it. And of course, that means income for you. You've got to get the balance right between information, soft sales, and hard sales. It is actually a difficult one to get to, and it depends upon each niche. What you're going to have to do is set it up so that you've got 3 or 4 soft sells and information, and then a hard sell, and see what sort of results you get. You may find that that particular niche does not respond to hard sells. It may be that they only respond to the recommendations and the soft sells. I can't tell you what a niche is going to respond to. You're the one that's going to have to test it and find out. Every niche is different. Constant selling is going to put off your subscribers. In internet marketing, you can more or less get away with it because people are always after buying products, because that's what internet marketers do. However, you'll find your open rate will be very, very low, even in the internet marketing niche, because most people look at the subject line. If it doesn't interest them, then they won't open it. So you've got to be aware of that. It's constant selling, particularly in the internet marketing niche, you're going to get low open rate. Outside the internet marketing niche, you're likely to get a high unsubscribe rate. One thing that you should do is use their name within the list. When you email them, put the name in the subject line, dear or hi, first name, use their first name, and even use it a couple of times in the text if it's appropriate. Now this impresses the hell out of people, particularly outside of internet marketing. We're all involved with autoresponders and the like all the time, so we understand how they work and think, don't think anything of them. But to Joe Six-Pack on the street there, it's magic. You just sent him a personal email because it's got his name on it. Yeah, he doesn't understand about automation and autoresponders. So I do remember one of my friends phoned me up and sort of said, "Oh, I've really got to thank you for that email you sent me yesterday." I sat there and thought, "What email? I haven't emailed you for months. Is this a hint to make me email you because I haven't been in contact?" And they started talking about the email, and what it was an email out of my autoresponder that they'd signed up for as a test some time ago, and it had their name in it, and they thought I'd personally sent them that email. And so in the end I had to say, "Oh right, yeah, yeah, oh, it's a pleasure. I just thought it'd be something you'd be interested in." You know, and they genuinely thought it was an email from me, handwritten to them. People outside of internet marketing don't understand about this automation and autoresponders, so you can really impress them, and it helps to build a relationship when you use that name, because people love the sound of their own name. It's one of the best sounds to their ears. So use it, but don't use it excessively. Use it in an appropriate way. Now, you've also got to make sure the subject line intrigues them enough to open it. Now, I tend to use their name in it because, again, it's that personal thing, and they go, okay, must be for me, it's got my name in it. What I would recommend is don't lie in the subject lines. I've seen subject lines where people say things like, "You've got cash," or something like that. And I know people have opened them, read them, and realised that it's saying, the first line in the email is something like, "Would you like to get emails with this message subject line every day?" And you know what happens in a vast majority of the cases? People scroll down, find the unsubscribe link, and hit it. You've got to make sure your subject line is honest, describes what's in the email in a way that intrigues people enough that they're going to open it, but not enough that they don't need to open it to understand what's in there. Avoid these cliche lines like "bad news" or something like that, unless it genuinely is. I've seen all sorts of emails, and "bad news" was a subject line that one of the gurus some time ago said, "Hey, I just sent an email out with this and it was really cool." So, everybody said, "Oh, bad news, let's try that." And a lot of people found that they got a very high unsubscribe rate. You've got to be very, very careful with the subject line you use. It's got to be enough information to make them want to open it, but not enough that they don't need to. Has to be honest, so that when they open it, they don't feel a sense of disappointment, because if they do, they will unsubscribe. But that's some information about what you need to send to your list. It's not too difficult. You've got to get the balance right, but that's going to come from testing, from watching your unsubscribe rate and your click-through rate, and how many sales you'll make. But you'll get there. It's different from every niche. Unfortunately, I can't give you a figure. Rough idea is 3 to 4 soft sales to every hard sell. It can sometimes help, by the way, if you send a gift out just before the hard sell, or just after, or you send gifts every now and then. Again, you're going to have to test it. But typically, if you send a gift just before a hard sell, people have this sort of feeling that they almost owe you something. So when the hard sell comes through, they're going to feel a bit more eager to buy. They're going to feel like they owe you something almost. So that's some information on what to send to your list. Experiment, monitor your open rate, monitor your unsubscribe rate. If after an email you get a massive unsubscribe rate, I'd go and check that email, because there's possibly something wrong with it that's really annoyed your customers. So just be aware of that monitoring. But keep the subject line honest, descriptive, but not too descriptive. You want people to be intrigued and open your email.